Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Jordan with Scale Science, and tonight we are going to do some live building. Check out a little schematic of what we're working on here. This is the suspension assembly of the Usukani PDS R-SE, their newest offering, the rear motor configuration setup chassis. The PDS has been on my bucket list since they first dropped. Just the setup of the suspension dynamic is incredible. I never got a chance to own the first generation. So when this one came out, I knew it had to be mine. What a good time. And so far, it is looking sweet. I have it here. So I've got it about, I don't know, I guess I would say 50% completed, and last 50% is these last four dampers here. So suspension is always a super important factor on builds now. I remember first starting in RC drift, all-wheel drive, and suspension was never really anything that I thought of. It was just kind of like an afterthought, like, oh, dang, you spent some money on an aluminum shock, cool. But knowing what I know now after years and years of doing this, suspension is definitely key. So I am excited to check out Usukani's offering of aluminum dampers that come in the kit. I mean, the quality feels nice. All the threads seem to, pitch and move really, really nicely. So as far as a build is concerned, I'm looking forward to trying it out, seeing what happens. But anyways, enough talking. Thank you guys for joining in. I'm gonna just throw some tunes on, and feel free to drop some comments and say what up as we progress through this shock build here. Look forward to maybe getting a couple of you back here for our podcast that we host every Thursday night. We will be on episode 15, maybe 16 now. Sorry, I'm losing track. Starting to get up in those higher digits. But it is a good time. Oh, and I see a couple comments popping up here. Take a second to say what up to everyone. Yo, guys, what's going on? Monster Parts. No worries, bro. Thanks for stopping by. Say what up. We will be on Thursday still for the podcast. Tonight I am just doing live. So to introduce you guys to this project, gonna call it Project Vegas. It has a special meaning because I am heading to Las Vegas in a little over a week to get some slides in with some really cool dudes that I know, and I'm hoping to meet some new cool dudes that I know of but have not yet met. And anyways, I feel like this chassis is the chassis to bring as far as slippery concrete is concerned. At our Scale Science track, we slide on carpet all the time. So I love where my car that I drive on carpet is at, and I don't necessarily want to make a bunch of drastic changes to get it sliding really nice on concrete. So here we are, chassis 2. I got rid of my YD2 a couple of months ago, right around when the pandemic kind of hit, and I'm not going to look back. I like YD2s for what they are, but as I would tell people, I was never in love with that car. I really liked it. It was a really nice car. It drove really well. I never was in love with it. It never really struck me like my RMX has. My RMX, I love. I love everything about it. And it's not a completely standard RMX, so it might be apples to oranges comparison, but I really enjoy driving mine on carpet, and I'm looking forward to doing some things with this Usukani and seeing where I can get it on concrete, and then try to see if I can dial that in as close to my MST on carpet and see where they both stand against each other. But yo, Vivian, what's up, man? Good to see you, bro. Corey, how you doing? You are up pretty early, I think. No, it's only 2 in the afternoon. Go back to work. Anyways, so I'm gonna try this new setup tonight, guys. Like I said, we're doing the Usukani build. I got a couple different cam layouts, so check it out. I got a bench cam. What's up? I think it's pretty cool. I may be nerding out, whatever. But this will give you guys kind of the up close and personal view. And, you know, I guess without further ado, let's get started. So talking about the suspension on this car specifically, there's a couple things so far that I've like. Everything's aluminum. That's great. All the fit and finish seems to be great. All included hardware is with this. It has 2 different sets of O-rings, I believe, so you should be able to run these either mineral oil or silicone oil, I believe. What was, let me see here. Oh, something I thought that was pretty cool. They actually include a little piece of sandpaper with it, so you can clean the little burrs from pulling the plastic parts off their trees. That's pretty cool, man. I wish more companies took the time to put that in there, because I think that would kind of help clue rookies and new people into realizing, like, oh, I should clean that little edge up. It's okay. You know, not everybody comes from a background knowing that cleaning those parts up can help. So that's a little touch I think is cool. One thing I guess I don't like is the fact that it comes with absolutely no shock oil. Now, I know shock oil is kind of like wheels and tires, like everybody's flavor is different. However, not including anything, I guess, unless it's significantly cutting the cost of the kits down, kind of bums me out. Never hurts to have just a little backup tube. I mean, I guess I always have it with me, so maybe it's not really warranting a real complaint. We're going to go ahead and try the initial build with some silicone. This is some Team Losi. I believe it is an 18. Let's see here. Yeah, it's an 18 weight shock oil. So we'll see where that lands on this car. It might be a little bit soft. I might need to stiffen it up just a hair, but anyone out there want to throw me some recommendations for smooth concrete as far as a silicone oil? If you guys are running a silicone oil, shoot me a comment. Let me know what you're using. I have a few ranging from like a 0, maybe a 10, all the way up to like 100, maybe 85, somewhere in there. So anyways, first things first on here, per the instructions, we are going to start with putting the first C-clip in. So I always like to put this lower one in first. Sorry guys, I'm gonna trail off here. Yokomo 100. Okay, so Viv, you're liking thicker oil, just making that layout more stable for you. If you don't mind too, let me clarify on some facts on yours, Vivian. Are we talking like Yokomo big bores, and what kind of like piston top are you running? Is it straight hole? Is it tapered holes? And yo, shout out to Assoluto Racing, dude. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm terribly sorry, bro. I would suggest something at least 400 grit, just to ensure that it stays nice and smooth. I think anything above that kind of overkill, but little tip I have for you guys, here in Colorado we have a chain called Sally Beauty Supply. It's like a ladies cosmetic store kind of thing. They sell fingernail files in a bunch of different grits, even like foot skin file things. They do a couple different sales every year, and I went in and was able to pick up probably about 15 different grits of fingernail file for around $10. So if you check out those sales, I mean, it's a lot cheaper than really anywhere that I've seen that type of stuff, and they come in really handy. They have different curves. Let me see if I can just quick pull a couple out, give you guys some examples of what I'm talking about here. grab maybe like my 4 favorites or something. Well, not seeing my absolute favorite, but that's okay. I can probably explain it. So assoluto. So here's like a super fine. You can see that there. 400, 600. So one side's 400, one side's 600. It gives you real nice finish for paint and stuff with this file. It's kind of like my fine finishing one. I got another. This one's like a tapered. So it gets real thin at one side and kind of fatter on the other side. So that kind of helps you fit into different areas, or you can manipulate around parts or in areas differently. So I think these ones were like 49 cents. If you buy them at the hobby shop, usually they're like $2 to $5 at our local hobby shop. So, I mean, finding them at the store for that was awesome in my book. And then I got like a really abrasive one here. It's a 100, 180. So this one was like how you would knock fingernails down pretty quick. And you can see, I mean, they're tough, man. These couple right here are probably 2 years old, and I mean, I use a ton of them. So that would be my tip for you guys. But this pink one is what I use to knock mine down. I didn't even use the sandpaper because I wanted to keep it fresh for the video. So, but everything came off real nice. I mean, you can see there's just a couple little skid marks there. That cleaned all the burrs off 8 different pieces, edges that I needed to clean up. So anyways, great question, man. Thank you. Four hole straight, full rebound. Okay. On your big bores, Viv, if you're still there, man, do you get a decent amount of droop out of your setup? Because that sounds good. I just recently went from a 35 weight to an 80 weight in my drag car, and holy cow, what a difference it made in keeping that power stuck to the ground. And my car isn't all over the place after like 25 miles an hour. So I definitely see like the stability standpoint of using a heavier weight fluid. These guys that I'm going to be using are actually a 3-hole design. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll try to get it in the light for you. But they are actually tapered. So one side's holes are actually significantly smaller than you can see this side's holes. See how much smaller those are? So I don't know. Curious to see how that works and how that'll affect the fluid. And you know, at the end of the day, I'll drop fluid and keep going up if need be. But I definitely am a big fan myself of really soft, kind of squishy suspensions that really fall over and hold kind of body roll kind of imitation to them. It's not always the best, but it definitely seems to work really well for us out on the carpet. All right, so finally, it only took us half an hour, or however long we've been on. Just kidding, 14 minutes. Okay, cool. So first one here, basically, let me see if I can get this kind of started on camera with you guys here. So you're going to take your C-clip and you're going to drop it kind of into the little channel that's cut. On the piston shaft. See there? Kind of hard to see. Sorry, guys. Parts are so small. Cameras like this don't like that. So you're gonna not cut your finger off. But I like using a blade because it gives you something kind of hard to push against. And you heard the little snap. So now we have one C-clip on our piston. That's legit, man. Viv, I'm gonna need to see a picture of this thing soon, man. I I definitely want to try and build some droop into this guy, make it nice and squishy. But on the rear motor that we have at our track, I have it super light on mineral oil right now, and I definitely want to thicken it up and slow it down a little bit. I think the dampers have quite a few holes in the pistons as well, so I might swap out for some stock or closer to stock hold dampers, see where that lands it. When we took it to rear motor setup, it definitely changed the dynamic of it for sure. So, so then reading back through the instructions here, they put a slight little taper on our part here. So let me see if I can zoom in on this for you guys, give you a little better view. I know those of you looking at home on your phone are probably like, dude, that just looks like scribbles. There we go. That looks better. Oh, I might have gone too far. It's freaking out. There we go. Okay, so up on our piston, it's got a slight taper going upwards, and you can clearly see that when you grab the part. So I've got that on there, and we are going to go back and seat this second upper C-clip here in the top channel. So let's do that now. Now, if you've never done these before, just a forewarning, they will shoot and fly and never be found again. So Usukani was nice enough to send you an extra one. So if it's your first time, man, take your time, be smart about it. That's why I definitely like to use this blade. It seems to keep the pressure pried nice and evenly. And I say that now, and now I can't get it seated, but oh, fell off. Take two. It's the problem with these videos. Can't edit it all down and make it super smooth and clean. Come on, baby. Huh. Oh no. Y'all, I'm gonna have to download this and turn it into a blooper reel. 20 minutes with Jordan trying to get one C-clip on. He's a madman. Almost. 75%. Come on, baby. Yeah, I might try some pliers on this specific one. This one is fighting me for some reason. Sometimes though, with my pliers, I would end up marring the finish on my piston. Not that it's super important on the top here, causing any issues, but just for sake of keeping it professional looking on your final build product. There we go. All right, we're in. But that's also a great tip, man. I could see how that could be helpful. I know on like pistons that have kind of the chromium or the like nice polished finished surface, that shouldn't affect those as much as it would affect something like these that look kind of like a nitride finish of some kind. And I will clarify, you guys check in the comments here. There's lots of great tips coming through if you're watching this video after the fact on YouTube, with everybody chiming in here on what they like to use. Definitely don't take what I'm doing here as the gospel. This is just a way that I've built shops before, and it's worked for me. I'm always open to tips, so keep them coming, boys. All right. So what I like to do too is I like to move in small segments so I can make sure that I pay attention to the details the same on all of them and keep them all congruent with each other. So at this point, I'm going to grab the next piston and I'm going to begin again. First C-clip. There it goes. There was my one extra. Wish me luck. No shooters. Might get desperate and go digging with a magnet, huh? Hopefully it's magnetic. All right. There's one. Sometimes I wish I had bionic fingers so I could just go gadget plier finger. Anyone out there watching with us tonight, besides our usual suspects, say what's up. Viv, how's everything going with work this week, man? You staying nice and busy, you were telling me. I want to tell everyone too, make sure you tune into the show on Thursday. We got a very, very special surprise coming up for you. I think you guys are going to love it. I know I love it. So if you don't, more for me. I don't want to give away too many secrets before, so I will tell you, come to the show and watch. And we're going to be doing some special things in the coming weeks, starting on Thursday. So make sure you guys tune in. We go live at 9:55 every Thursday night. That's Mountain Standard Time here in Colorado with myself and the rest of the Scale Science crew. So make sure you come through. Doit. See, there we go. Already messed that one up. I mislooked at it and I put that one up taper side wrong. So we're going to have to step backwards. There we go. Got that one. Flip it. Come on, baby. Heck yeah, Mike. What's going on, bro? How's that GOM looking, man? Looking pretty sweet in the photos, I gotta admit. Making me kind of jelly, envious. Yep. When you need the right tool, get the right tool. This job does not call for a breakable tip. Bam. Off in a flash. Flipped over. Back on. And locked in. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be here all week. Anyways, yo, will you guys give me a sound check here real quick? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Man down. Let me turn some music on for you guys while I look for this stupid thing. Sorry for the delay, everybody. I will be back momentarily. I feel like we are close. Oh, the joys of RC sometimes. On your hands and knees. Usually doing those on my bench doesn't give me this many issues, but of course, because I'm live building tonight, you get to come along for the fun ride that is losing parts. Well, I found 6 nuts, 4 washers, a body clip, a pen I lost. Hello. No C-clips. No C-clips in sight. Where? Always where you least expect it. I'm trying to least expect it somewhere in front of my face right now. All right. So, can you guys even hear the music? If it sounds terrible, all right. We're gonna give it 10 more seconds, and then I am going to go get an old damper and just harvest one real quick. The frustration is real. All right. All right. Get a paper towel. What's up, Sid? How you doing, bro? Jesus, clips is right. Jesus, where did that go? Somehow my non-shag carpet in the garage swallows RC parts like nobody's business. All right, look at that. One nice, beautiful, different colored, but equally impressive C-clip. If it will come off. There it goes. You know what? While we're here, let's harvest another one, just in case. You can always put it back. Oh yeah, there we go. So let's keep our D4 parts separated. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Final C clip. 3, 2, 1.5. Oh no. No. It's the wrong size. We need smaller. Curse you! Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, never give up on your dreams. And they will come true. We're back in business as long as I don't shoot this one across the room like a freaking gay. And we're in business. Ladies and gentlemen, we have made it. We are in the promised land. Let's continue. Yeah, seriously. I used to work in a really, really dimly lit basement, and whew, About $1 for every part I dropped in that carpet, but man, oh man, you just be vacuuming and just hear. That video you sent me was hilarious, Matt. The guy out on the fishing dock with him was hilarious, dude. You ain't a man till you had one. All right. Let's keep those parts separate, like I said. Let's get us some nice ambient lighting back up in the studio here. Oops. Let's blind the man. That's a little better. Let's get that greasy face going, you know? Those highlights. Shine me up. Oh, hello. All right, guys. Cheers. The juice of my motherland. Sorry, it's going kind of slow right now, guys. Regrouping after that C-clip incident. Rather not talk about it. I'm pretty shaken up still. What's everyone working on this week? Anyone got any cool projects rolling forward? I know I am getting excited about this car. I got a body in mind that I want to do. Just don't know if I'm going to have enough time to do it how I want to do it 150%. Okay. So, moving back to our instructions here. Let's see. Let's do this next step. Oh, no, we have this ring on here. So, let's take that and we're going to take our black O-ring and we are going to install that into the center of the preload collar. Sorry guys, I'm kind of trying to word this properly. Gotta sound pro, you know? Ugh. Go home, O-ring. You drunk. Alright, there's one. I think suspension is still my favorite part of the car to build because I have fat fingers and this is tedious work for fat fingered boys. Almost. Come on. Go to your home. Just a matter of getting them to just slightly rotate enough to see. There we go. Whoop. We got a flyer. Yo, what's up, Rudy? No, you're not late at all, man. We're just getting started on some suspension building. We still got to attach it to the car. We'll still got to build it, honestly. And might try to throw some wheels and tires if it doesn't get too late, too quick. See how she sits, see how she bounces. see how she rebounds. Yeah. Anyone else out there new or just tuning in? Say what up. Nice, Matt. I'm trying to get my hands on a 2.0 FXX myself, man. Those are sweet looking chassis. Definitely an improvement over version 1 that they had. And version 1 was still awesome. All right, so on the springs, per the instructions, going onto the body, see that the O-ring comes into the top of the ring. So the little protrusion on it will point down towards the eye cap. So let's take our first damper body. And the O-ring in there is essentially so this doesn't just unscrew itself, because the finish with the threads is so fine, it moves easily without. So this O-ring just kind of gives it a little bit of, finger tight pressure so it doesn't tighten itself. And if you already knew that, sorry guys, trying to help out those new guys. All right, number 1, complete. Let's make sure I put it on. Got the collet to the bottom, going on. And another little tip here, anytime you're starting threads like this, spin it backwards until you feel it flatten, and then go the other direction. And voila. Nice and smooth, and you minimize your risk at cross threading it, especially if you're using maybe not as high end of an aluminum, maybe an Integy or something. And I'm not saying that they're bad, it's just I've noticed products like that are more prone to those issues, so they're ones that you especially want to pay closer attention to how you're starting and threading and doing all of that. And just real quick on our schematic, I want to check before I take these all the way to the bottom. So they do not have a measurement. So we are going to start them fully seated or completely unpreloaded. We have removed all preload from the shock collar. And then we can move from there. Oh man. Wake up tomorrow and all my fingers are going to be sore. Feel like a old man with arthritis or something. Oh. See, it wasn't flat there. There it goes. Yo, and I never heard back from you guys. Is the music, does it sound terrible? Does it sound like something's going on in the background, or can you actually hear it? And is it adding some ambiance? All right. Next thing's next. We're gonna take our piston, drop it in, and what I will do at this point is I'm gonna check it, make sure that that burr and everything is not causing any kind of like friction issue. So no matter what side that I'm putting pressure against, this is sliding nice, completely smooth, completely free. Nothing's grabbing, nothing's catching. That's ideal. You don't want any weird little factors causing discrepancies between dampers. You want all of your dampers to act and react the same. Okay, that one is sufficient. Let's drop the next one. Bam. Right. No problems. Smooth. Awesome. Last one. Okay. Now, something that instructions rarely will tell you, but it is a tip I would highly suggest to anyone building some dampers, is take a little bit of your shock oil that you're going to use for your build, and I'll just put 4 or 5 drops. Very, very little. You can see it in there. I mean, it doesn't even cover the bottom. What this is for is when you're installing your O-rings. So I'll just toss all 4 of my O-rings in there. I'm going to kind of tap them around, try and stir them up, try to get all surfaces covered in the shock oil. And what that's going to help with is keeping these lubricated when you move over your threads. So on this section here, you're going to be putting this O-ring over these threads on the piston shaft, and that's going to make your lower seal. Okay, so by pre-lubricating it, you're going to help. But where we're going to help it again is we're going to also dip the threads into that same shock oil, and you can even just take your finger. I just dipped it in the cup, and I've got a little bit on my finger, right? And we're just going to lube up all of those threads in the initial part of the shaft. Yeah. Good thing the boys aren't here to be making innuendo jokes, huh? Miss you guys. Can't wait for the podcast on Thursday. All right. Smarter, not harder, Jordan. Come on. There we go. Okay. Slid over really nice and smoothly. I'm going to seat this O-ring into the base of this damper body. Smooth as you can. And then we're going to take the lower, I'm not entirely sure what the name of this is, realistically. I'm going to call it a plunger. Okay, so I'm going to check the orientation on it. We're going to make sure that we don't pinch our O-ring, causing a leak, very much like an O-ring would act on an oil filter. Okay, we're going to ensure that it is moving freely, that O-ring is seated correctly. By freely, I mean you're going to feel a little pinch. It's going to have some tightness. That's what's going to keep the oil from leaking. Okay, but it's moving free enough to where you're not feeling like a tight spot where it's hard to push, or it feels difficult or not correct. Okay, we're going to grab our smaller cap, which is our bottom cap. Okay, there's one. Let's do it again. Lube up that shaft and threads. You grab your O-ring. Slide the O-ring. Sorry guys, I'll try to get in front of the camera here. Slide the O-ring over the threads onto that shaft. You're going to seat it in to this cup. And I'm sorry I'm a dude with kind of long fingernails, but I actually grow them out when I know I have to do stuff like this because they come in really handy, especially with fat little sausage fingers. All right. The part we dubbed the plunger, again, just this little small black piece, thinner side in. We're going to slowly seat it into the O-ring, making sure we don't pinch. We're going to compress and decompress the piston ring piston shaft a couple times, making sure that this is moving freely. Okay, and last but not least, we are going to grab our cap, lower cap. We're going to tighten that up. And you don't got to smash it. You just want to take it to where it, like if you were spinning it, it would stop and then go maybe quarter of a turn. And that should be sufficient for squishing that O-ring enough to keep the oil from leaking, but not squish it so hard that you create a weak point that will leak from forever. Okay, here's number 2. Assoluto, it is a YouTube mix. Let me see if I can pull it up on the screen for you guys. The dark techno industrial cyberpunk mix. Let's see here. Pretty good stuff, honestly. Kind of upbeat, uplifting, kind of dark, dubsteppy, trancey, techno-y kind of vibe. I like it. Okay, cycle that piston shaft a few times. Everything is feeling smooth and correct. Looking nice. Okay, lower cap. And again, this is not the gospel. This is my way of going through and potentially not making mistakes and not building 4 different dampers. This is how I'm able to achieve pretty standard results across all 4 of the dampers that I would run, or the whole set of dampers that I would have on a car. Now, in a perfect world, I would have also gotten myself an air removal tool or a bubble removal tool for shock building. Basically, just a little air pump chamber, vac pump chamber that you can pump all the little bubbles out and make dang sure that you have the absolute best build on your dampers. Someday, I will have one. But this should get you by in the meantime. So next up on our instructions. Let me see if I can find it here, guys. Sorry, I just lost it. There we go. Okay. So now it looks like we need to fully seat this M3 nut on the threads, and we'll finish that off with the lower eyelet. So I'll show you here. Got this little nut here, and we'll finish it with the eyelet, and then we can start filling it with the juice. How exciting. All right. 1 M3 nut. Check. and installed. Second M3 nut. Threaded. Installed. So on and so forth. Man. So I'm also excited this week, guys. Friday, it is our track's 3-year anniversary of being open. I am ridiculously beyond absolutely proud of all the stuff that we have overcome and built and made and kept around locally for 3 solid years now. And I feel like we're actually just getting stronger and better and more eager, honestly. Like, I feel like I'm more eager to be around RC and do RC stuff now than I was even 3 years ago. And I was really into it 3 years ago. I was really into it 5 years ago. So I want to give a huge shout out to everybody watching our channel, subscribing to us on YouTube. We're just about to hit 1,300 followers on Instagram. I know that's not record breaking or anything, but it means the world to all of us here at Scale Science, especially myself, to have that kind of support from our community and from everybody around us. So again, shout out to you guys the MVPs. Oh, I got an idea. Oops. God. At least that one's easier to find, huh? Good Lord. All right. Yo, what's up, saying? As far as I know, we are going to for sure do a tandem comp. And then I believe we might also do a clipping point comp, but we might opt out of the clipping point comp this time and do a, we call it a circle jerk with some cans. And I believe last time we also did a parking comp. That one was super, super fun. So really no super plans outside of the tandem comp. So it should be fun. So back to our eyelet caps here. I just used my angled pliers to hold the piston shaft and get a nice tight squeeze on this shaft here. Made sure I just got those M3 nuts fully seated. The nice thing about the angled pliers too is that you are grabbing at the very bottom. That is not going to interfere with your O-ring or cut anything if there is a little bit of marring on it. So that's a definite plus. But yeah. Okay, seated. Hopefully too, the lower spring perch would cover any kind of discoloration or anything you might get on like this shaft here that you're seeing. So if you're nitpicking them that hard, I mean, I get it. I'm a detail freak, but it's not going to hurt anything other than maybe your pride. Yeah, saying it's a lot of fun, brother. we're all about having fun, man. It's not going to be like super competitive vibe or anything like that. Like, you know, we're there to win, but we're also there to have some fun and have a good time. So we just got to make sure we do that. Oh, so again, I think it's partially a mixture of me jabbering with you guys, dropping parts, but I forgot to put a part in. We can't have that. You gotta have the part. It's essential. It was hiding. Go to your home. It's your home. No wonder that one felt so weird. Like, man, that shaft moves pretty awkwardly. There we go. That's better. Okay. Back on with the nut. M3. Tightened. And I lit it. There we go. Sorry for the commercials, ladies and gentlemen. We made it through an entire playlist mix. Going to number 2 now. All right. Lovely. 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 Oh. That's one. Hell yeah, Rudy. I'm so bummed because I have the pliers and the cool little eyelet wrench for my D4, and they're both at the track right now. So I'm at my house building, so got home and was like, I need that. That would make life a lot easier. All right. So, real quick, I am gonna step away for 10 seconds and grab a drink. You guys hang tight. Again, you're watching the live assembly of the Usukani PDS R-SE suspension, and we're going to turn this chassis into a rolling chassis before we hit end broadcast tonight. So stay tuned. Yo, great question, Matt. So I would say yes, it's still a good servo. Now, I would say it's more on the great level for a bash servo. By bash, I mean maybe you're newer, maybe you're driving outside a lot, maybe you're getting it dirty, maybe you are, and by dirty I mean, you know, heavy debris. maybe a little bit of water, maybe you're driving out in the rain a bit, etc. They work great for that. The one downside to Savox servos I've found is that they are power hogs, so they do have a tendency to tear up people's receivers over the course of time unless your ESC has a quality built-in BEC. So if I had to go off just generic, absolutely go for it. The thing I like about them the most is they're available at most all local hobby shops or easily available online stateside. And if you're not in the United States, I'm not entirely sure how the supply chain for Savox works outside of the US. So you guys might be able to clue me in better on that. But as far as availability is concerned, it's kind of like guys LS swapping things. You know, it's like you can go down to any local auto parts store in America and buy parts for any LS late model engine. And I mean, parts galore. Really, any Chevy engine of all time. So, for that aspect, yes. If I was gonna build something myself, like I'll give you an example. In my PDS, I'm not running a Savox servo on that. I'm gonna give one of these Razor D1s a try. I don't know if you can see that in there very well. There we go. So this guy is basically rated at, I would say, the same settings. However, it has more throw than the Savox does, and it has an internally built-in gyro, which is a pretty cool little setup feature. So I'm excited to try it. We have had some mixed reviews locally, honestly. The one guy, Steven, local, that has one loves his, and then Manji has one, and it has been nothing but heartache for the poor guy. I feel so bad for him. I hope we can get him driving some laps. He's been dealing with this thing for over a month now. So as far as that's concerned, it has me a little worried. But the fact that you can pretty much 100% dial this thing in from a phone app is really legit to me. I like that accessibility and that tunability, as long as it's not overly complicated and it works, which, again, I'm on the fence right now. I've seen it work once and I've seen it fail once. So here's the deciding factor. We'll find out what we think. But all right, guys, so let's start it up. We are going to fill our dampers now. So again, we're using some 18 weight or 18, yeah, weight, excuse me. Team Losi fluid. So you can see I'm just putting a little bit in, and I'll go about 3/4 of the way to where I would fill it. And at this point, I'm going to push the plunger up. And what I'm doing here is I'm trying to expel any air that might be hiding underneath that plunger. And now, little trick I've learned is to now twist and pull back down. Oh, do you see it shoot out of there? Gosh, I'm not getting paid enough for this. Go again. But that just tells you how nice and tight that seal is right there. That's awesome. So I don't know if you can see that in there. There's a couple little bubbles hiding. So we're gonna add just a little bit more fluid. And we're gonna plunge again. And I would say plunge, I don't know, 10, 12, 14 times. Just keep going until the air bubbles start dissipating, okay? Twist, pull back down, come up, twist, pull back down. See, bunch, but you want those bubbles to come out. So it may seem like a pain and be tedious, but I'm just trying to show you guys what I do. This is giving me really good results. Excuse me, couldn't think. It's been a long day. Thank you guys for hanging out, bearing with me. All right, so now, as you can see, our fluid is almost to the top. Now, another little trick. We're gonna grab our bladder and we're gonna cover the top. Now you wanna make sure that that bladder is fully seated in oil. And as you can see here, I have no oil on the back of that bladder. So we need a little bit more. As bad as it feels getting these a little messy. So here, let me just wrap it with some paper towel and we'll make this mess a little bit more manageable. Completely, or I would say 95% filling the damper body before putting your bladder on ensures that you will have no air underneath it. Completely eliminate that pocket. Now this doesn't work on every damper setup. Sometimes there's not enough volume on top of the bladder to give it enough movement, and you will actually create a damper that will not cycle 100% through your stroke. So you might have to adjust that oil level slightly. But for my own, I like to put it in there. Oh, dang it. I just messed up, guys. Pop the piston down while it was freaking sitting there. Okay, try it again. There we go. Seated, it leaks out. Okay, now we're gonna take our cap with our top eyelet and we are going to screw that on. Screw it backwards again until you get the threads flat, come back down. Same thing with the O-ring on the bottom. Come to where it just takes tension off of it and then go about a quarter more turn and you should be perfect for not killing your O-ring or damaging your seal. Cool, Matt. That's awesome, man. Yeah, as far as bashability goes, dude, like I said, we had that servo in our rental car for over 2 years. Man, the guy that's had it now probably has had it at least 4, maybe 6 months, and still going, as far as I know. So they hold up. They stand the test of time, and I mean, for the price, if it broke today, I would not be one bit disappointed if it lasted, 3 years after how many people got to beat on it and crash it into walls and try and turn it into a pile of nothing. It did its job. All right, damper 2. Whoops, I went a little high. So we're gonna have to go a little slow cycling it or I'm gonna make a mess. All right. So another thing too, guys, you can set up different dynamics into your suspension by screwing this top cap on at different levels. So, if you only wanted half of the stroke strength, you can do it half in, and then it would pull or push back only to about halfway. So if you had more travel come out of it, it would actually try to pull it back to center. And if you came in all the way grounded, it would push back to half. So there's a lot of cool things that you can do with dampers, and I mean, not all types of setups will apply to all types of driving. But yeah, there is a ton of different ways to make suspensions act different, feel different, drive different, either more or less responsive, etc. Very much like a real car. So you can apply a lot of the same theories and dynamics from real car suspension to RC suspension, as long as we're comparing kind of apples to apples with stroke lengths and things of that nature. So. Oop. Saying, yep, ordered some. They should be here tomorrow. I got, I think, 5 pairs coming, 5 or 6 pairs coming. So sets of 4. Hopefully that'll be enough for everybody that is in need or has been in need. I'm sorry it's been such a pain getting parts lately, guys, but bear with me. Okay, we'll get there. Okay, so what happened here? Did this O-ring not seat? Got it all the way out. Screw it on. Seat it. Sorry, y'all. Another technical difficulty moment. Forget I gotta keep y'all informed on what the heck's going on right now. Absolutely, Matt. It's fun too, just playing with these dynamics on a scale aspect and seeing how, maybe that would work on a real car, feel on a real car, being able to, build extra bounce or extra stiffness or extra whatever into your suspension setup. Like I was saying earlier, I don't know if you caught it, suspension was the, one of the biggest changes I made on my scale drag car this year. And my goodness, what a difference it made. I, went from never winning a race to right now I'm in the top 6 of the points chase out of about 20 drivers. So it's a good time, man, and it's definitely impressive for sure. Yes, sir. You were right, 1,000%. You must have had a man. Oh my God. We got a bleeder. I just about got hit in the face by shock oil. Jesus. Maybe you should put some safety glasses on there, Jordan. Safety third, no, man. I ain't no sissy. Safety third. Blokes on blokes. Yeah, it can be that way, Matt. I don't know. I don't know if you caught any of my finish line footage from the most recent No Prep RC race number 3 on our YouTube channel videos, but if you watch race 1 finish line footage versus even race 2 and then this race 3, race 3 we had, I would say, easily double the amount of close. Like personally, I couldn't judge it by eye. I had to go to my camera view just to figure out who won, because at the end of the track where I'm at, I can't really hear who wins when they're telling us that. So yeah, something interesting right now. I'm actually, I don't know if it's just the viscosity of this oil or what, but I am getting no rebound on this damper. Zero. And it is actually quite stiff. I mean, even with 18 in there, but zero. And no leaks though. So I don't know. I guess I don't know everything. I thought it should have rebound in it. Maybe it shouldn't. We're just gonna fill this fourth one up with the oil. We're gonna bleed it. We're gonna cap it. And what do you say we install it? Let's see what it feels like. Who knows? Maybe they're onto something. Maybe they're changing the game. You never know. And I mean, with as many people there are running no oil, I don't know how you would get any kind of rebound in an no oil setup. Excuse me. Right. There's that. Let's drop our top cap. Get the plunge. The purge. Got leaking oil out the top. Oh, sorry guys. What a camera view that wasn't. And I mean, let me just tell you, how impressed are you right now? We're an hour and 25 minutes in, and I'm still not done. All right. And as far as I know, should not matter till we install which spring goes where. Yeah. Hard to judge till they're on the car. Weight always affects, excuse me, affects the dynamic of the suspension. So that's why I got the battery in the car already. And then two, the cantilever style suspension always, ooh. So we'll probably have to add a little bit of preload to the front spring. As you can see, there is a ton of play there, at least if it fully unloads. Definitely, Matt. Give it a watch, man. Give me some feedback. Tell me what you think. I think it's pretty sweet, but I guess some may say I'm biased. All right, ladies and gentlemen. And there we have 4 completed Usukani PDS R-SE dampers ready to go onto one beautiful looking car. So, without further ado, let's get these bad boys in there. What do you say? So our longer spring, fully seated, no worries. That is going on our rear. So let's get this snapped in. One. A two. Oh yeah, that's nice. You know, Matt, you're not wrong. There's one. There's two. All right. Now, shameless admittance. I don't know. This is my first cantilevered suspension car, so I am quite excited to hit the little snappy snap, snippity snappity, bippity boppity, hippity hoppity hoo. Oh yeah. Oh, that's fancy. Look at that. Yeah. All right, so I can already see that we're gonna have to add some preload. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna turn, just until we get that spring somewhat just sitting. So when I take load off, I don't want that spring to fall out of its perch area. So that's actually about perfect right there. Oh. We got some loose parts. Let's give this the old tighten up. Yo, Chris, what's going on, man? Nice to meet you. Welcome to the show. We are just getting down on some suspension building here. Anyone else out there watching tonight, say what up. Yeah, I don't want to do that with an MIP. Let's do it with our cheesy one. There we go. Huh, that's interesting, Sang. I'd be curious. I want to ask some more people that have picked these chassis up if they've been able to get rebound, and then maybe I can figure out, because the kit also came with red O-rings. The instructions say black O-ring, but hey man, I'll be the first one to tell you that the instructions aren't always right. D4, perfect example. All right, back in. Now, on this second side, we are going to grab our handy dandy caliper. And we're going to measure inside edge to inside edge, lock it, 3.15 millimeters. Doot, 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 doot. So what you can do is just lock that in with the little screw here. Bam. Then I can come over to my other side damper for the front, and I can preload, 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 and then I can come in here and I can compare. So I have a little bit of a gap now, so I can actually loosen that back up. Now I can't fit in, so I can go about quarter turn. And we fit with no wiggles. No wiggles at all. And we're still 3.16. That's close enough. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, we have some buttery smooth suspension installed. Interesting. Okay. So I guess the question is, do we want to put just wheels on it? Do we want to try and mount some tires? I just don't know. I just don't know. Holy moly, it's already midnight. Dang it. All right. So let's do this. We're going to save some wheels for tomorrow because I am going to unveil those with a very special body that we will be doing on this car. So, hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight. This has been too much fun. I think let me see here. Do I have wheels I want to put on this right now? That looks pretty saucy. Some Yokomos. Yeah. Sexy, sexy. I really like those wheels. It's definitely gonna sit low. Lower. So I also bought myself a pair of TR56s. So if I hate these, I will just scavenge a couple of the black parts off of them, and I will throw the TR56s in there because I know I can build those. I know I can get rebound in them. And I know that I can adjust the overall stroke length, or at least overall shock length. to give me longer throw and more ground clearance. So, if need be. Man, holy axle threads, Batman. Look at that thing. Good lord. It like pokes out the dang tire. Craziness. Anyways, let's see if I can get this to sit here. So, yeah, that's problem one. It has like no ground clearance. This thing is sitting crazy low. So I guess we can extend eyelets. That's an easy fix. We can extend rods. That is an easy fix. As for the rear, man, the tire is inset so much that it actually hits the shock tower. That's crazy. Let's see what it looks like. So I might have to run some like stupidly wide offset wheels. What are these? 11s. Good God. Just to clear. That's pretty wild. What are these? 6s? So Yokomo's 6s. Don't even clear shock tower. Yikes. So, one other thing. I know our buddy Mike said he switched his to be in front for some more traction. Got the arm set up correctly. Yeah, you're right, Randall. What's up, brother? Sideways Jesus. I did not. Oh, sorry, Chris. I didn't realize you guys were BSing in here. Chris, good to hear from you again, man. Got to let me know when your next trip up to CO is. I know you said you only get certified like once a year or whatever, but if you're in the area, bro, stop on by and say what up. Good sign with you a couple weeks ago or a month ago or however long ago it was. Man, so I'm tempted to just flip-flop this suspension just to get it to sit a little higher because it literally, I would say it has maybe 2 mils of ground clearance. Maybe. Well, I guess having another wheel on it might help. Jeez. First time, ladies and gentlemen. First time. Yeah. 2 mils. Maybe. Let's see this. Try and cut back over here. Like, and with no rebound, it is just touching So I guess it wouldn't hurt. Let's just try preloading it a little bit and see if we can get it to lift up. Even then, it's not going to give it much. Yeah, I guess, Randall, like, preload to me, it's right, but I don't like using preload for ride height. I like using stroke length for ride height, and I like using preload to land me in the right spring rate for where I'm like riding at. But there's no way they want me to do it like this, because this is just, there's no way, man. There's no gap. Like, this thing would be so slow, because they would just be dragging booty everywhere. And this doesn't even have my ESC in it, wiring, body, nothing. So the way the arms are designed, though, it's got multiple millimeters on the back. I don't know why, unless there is caster built in, or excuse me, toe in built into the rear arms, that you couldn't either just flip flop them, but instead of flip flopping them, I'm just going to flip flop the dampers and put the dampers on the front. So I'll just shut up, start making it happen. Let's see if we can make magic. Thankfully, power tools make life easy. Third hole in with the spacer. Pop that off. God, if I was making a video for this, I legit would put a parts dropped counter on it. Because that makes like number 19 tonight. God dang, man, I'm failing. Okay, so let's just try it in the middle. One looks too hot, one looks too cold, the other looks just right. Schwam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Sorry, y'all. Technical difficulties here. Got my Ugga Dugga gun. My Ugga Ugga. Russell, what's up, man? We are working on the Usukani PDS R-SE. It is the newest release from them. Rear motor setup. Got the cantilever front. Pretty sweet little chassis by the looks of it, man. We are just doing some suspension troubleshooting currently, seeing what we can make happen. So this guy, this. Okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. Daddy's got ride height. Look out, world. Sorry, guys. Whew. Yo, Randall, plug on the sticker, bro. Randall, cut me out some So Cooler hashtag stickers. Hashtag So Cooler. You the man. All right. Now let's try on the other side. Take it on the other side. Come on, baby. There we go. Nope. Just don't want the screw to fall. Jesus, come on. Oy. Doing this in like the most awkward position ever. Let's just be smart here. Use your strong hand. Turn it around. Now, flip it over. Middle hole. And replace. Oh. Excuse me. Pardon me. That was rude. Yo, and anyone just tuning in, where are you guys watching from? Are you on Facebook or YouTube? Bam. Oh my God. What did I just do? I'm some kind of special. Do you guys see this? Just put it on backwards. I'm over here thinking about so cooler things. All right. Redo. That looks better. Oh yeah, it's already feeling better. Now I'm not exactly sure what dynamic having the spring in front of the arm versus behind the arm changes. I don't know, Matt, if you're still here, dude, you mind giving me some insight on that? Otherwise, I'll try to do some research and figure it out. But hey, it never hurts to ask somebody that already knows. Nice. Okay. So sorry about that camera view, ladies and gentlemen. We have now achieved reverse rake. Or excuse me, standard rake. So what that is telling me is we can adjust these front bars, turnbuckles, and we should be able to give a little bit more length, stroke length to the front. And we should be able to take this preload out of the rear. And then we are in all kinds of business, ready to have some fun. Because fun is the name of the game. Am I right? Come on. Certainly not as much room back here. Should just put the wheel nuts on, but cool. Thank you guys for answering. Go YouTube. YouTube for the win. Facebook's been whack, especially lately. Killing me. Whew. All right, guys. I am getting hype. Get our fancy dancy turnbuckle wrenches. So I'm going to try to count this here. Six for a full. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let's go to our other side. I'm going to open it the same way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. don't understand. Oh, there it goes. Just sitting up on something. All right. So one full revolution gave us back our rake, and I think that being on throttle definitely seat this car back. Oh, I take it back. We're not there yet. Maybe we're close. We'll find out. Before I get too crazy with what I think is going to work, you just kind of baseline it. Baselining it is a good way to just see, you know? But this no rebound thing is bugging me. I'm not liking it. I don't know if it's because I wasn't supposed to be using oil. Or what? It says oil, and it says the black ones in the book. Life. All right, guys. So for where we're at tonight, I think we made good progress. We got the suspension done. We got the car basically ready to put some wheels and tires on. I can't wait to show you what I am thinking of doing up with the body. So fingers crossed. Let's hope it works. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. We will go live again tomorrow for at least an hour and bring you up to speed with what's next. And look forward to seeing you guys then. And for the podcast, if you can't join us for either, once again, y'all have a good night, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.